Good morning, good morning. It's the last day of harvest at our Waldron farm today. Dad's over shelling corn right now, trying to get it finished up. I hauled a load in this morning with that truck. Phil took one with this truck, and he's getting some stuff around, so I'm gonna take this over to the field. Dad's got the Columbia over there, and we're gonna finish this. Well, let's finish this one up. It helps when you have the bean stubble next to the corn stalks so that we can unload on the go with just one pass here. It is amazing how much different ground conditions can be. I mean, it's logical, right? But based on weather and ground conditions and all of that stuff. This is a field that 3 years ago when there was soybeans in here, we were running the beans and it was so wet and so muddy that I could not drive the combine up this little hill right here to get the beans. We kept sliding down the side of the hill and I literally could not get up it. The tires were spinning and sliding sideways so bad that we couldn't get to the top of the hill. Crazy different this year.
Unloading. And I got down towards the end, so I idled the combine down, went out the side door to clean the screen off, got in the combine, started going, and I forgot to shut the unload off. I was coming along here, and all of a sudden I'm looking, well, there's no grain coming in, and I looked out back, I was spilling it on the ground.
Yeah, that's not real efficient.
I never admit to it till after 20 years.
Should I put that on YouTube? Things happen. See? He's telling stories about this old 6620.
We didn't have any yield maps.
Well, the yield would have still registered, and it would have shown up on the map. That's what the alarms and buzzers are for now, so you don't forget. On the old 6620 combine, you could turn the unloading auger on with it folded back, and it wouldn't tell you. It wouldn't. There was no warning or buzzer or alarm to say, "Hey, you forgot that this is on." It happens. All right. Well, we're down to just this little triangle piece here in front of this little ditch. This is some of the muckiest muck that we've got. The spot where we're at right now. And then we're going to go up over a little ridge here. Right there. And then drop back down into it. And it's really soft, but usually grows pretty good corn if you can keep the giant ragweed out of it. So, let's see. Also gets a little uneven. Don't need to be breaking the end off of our auger, hitting it on a grain cart. That beautiful black dirt. We don't have much of it, but there is a little bit. Anyway, getting right down to the end of it here now. Done! We've made it! Cool.
You want to link from here with the combine?
That was my plan. We'll have to get the header cart over here and drop the head.
Okay, you want me to run the combine down?
Oh, well, if you want. I was planning on it, but however you want to do it.
Well, whatever works best.
Okay. It's windy today. Definitely too windy for Dad to spray, which I kind of wanted to do. Looks like Phil hauled another load of corn in because our overhead doesn't appear to have much in it. So, okay. That means that truck and the partial that Dad's bringing could just go up there and we'll have everything empty and ready to go. Cool. All right, it is 11:15-ish. Brock's going to be here around noon. Question is, do we take off with the combine and the grain cart, Dad and I, and then have Brock bring a truck? Or wait for him to get here so he can take the grain cart? Do we want to be in a hurry and try and run a bunch down there today? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Well, Phil just got back. He decided to empty the trucks, so Putting this one up into the overhead. It wasn't empty. It'll be 2/3 full when we get this one empty. So, yeah. Can't hold any more corn. One more truckload that he just delivered. That's fine. We're in good shape. Once we get this empty, we'll go over and get the corn head dropped off the combine and we'll get started moving here, I guess. Don't be in a hurry. Shut down. Okay, we're gonna drop the head and head out of here. Brock just took off with the cart. Let's go. Let's see if we can set the high score. Come on, go, go, go. Oh, man. 23, that's all we got. All right, gets a little treacherous here. There's my grain cart. He's stopped to talc the tracks, cool everything down, keep it all a little lubricated on this long drive. Just happened to have a cousin that has a farm here halfway between our farm and the Berkey farm, so convenient spot to stop and talc tracks. Oh, we made it. So we've got a little sliver down here that we ran out of seed, so they never got planted. Actually, the neighbor put some hog manure on here. A little bit of tillage done. But it's a convenient spot to hook up a head. So Dad's on his way over with the bean head right now. And we're just going to go ahead and get started combining some double crop beans. So we got to get the combine switched over. So we'll jump out and do that and get everything ready to go here. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Look, a grain cart. You can't see it. He's there. Well, off we go. We'll run some double crop beans. We'll see if they're any good out here or not. They don't look terrible. I just know that we got super dry and I doubt they're going to be very good. We'll talk about why it doesn't really matter in a little bit once we get things opened up here. But we're waiting for Phil to come down with a truck, and then him and Dad are going to go back and get another truck, and I guess Brock and I will stay here and combine. I really don't need a grain cart, but we have a grain cart, so well, we'll see. One of our little summer projects that I never really showed you guys because I was never down here when it was happening, but we had the ditch along the road dipped out after the wheat came out, and so that's what all those spoils are there, are basically what they dug out of that ditch and piled it there. So Dad will have to come down with his scraper and backhoe maybe or something here this fall, level that stuff off for us. But there's a little, they piled it in some of the beans, but so what, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so that should help drain this a little bit better. Our tile empty into that ditch somewhere. There's an outlet, I don't remember where, but it is going to be one boring job to run grain cart for double crop beans. That's kind of dumb. I don't think we really need a grain cart. I don't know, I might tell him to park it. Maybe I don't know if he needs to go back and bring anything more down here, or we've got a pickup down here. He could go and get some lunch and rotate through stuff. I could give Brock some seat time in the combine. Should we do that? I don't know. He's going to jump in with me now, maybe. Okay, well, Brock did jump in and ride with me for a second there. I had Dad, Phil came down with the truck and they parked in the field here. Dad's taking Brock back to the farm home base here at Berkey. We should talk about that too, because some of you probably don't understand what the heck's going on here today. That's okay. But anyway, we've got a pickup down here, and so he's gonna bring that truck over to the field, and then he can run the grain cart or do something. I might have him combine, and then I'll go grab some lunch. Brock didn't come till noon, so I imagine he's good. But yeah, all right. So let's talk about it. So Berkey is the little town right over there, that town, Berkey, Ohio. This is kind of the home base of where my dad grew up. In fact, that house right over there through the dust, over there, that was the house that my great-grandfather bought in 1926. Or maybe built it. No, I don't know. Anyway, the farm across the road is also ours, and we have been farming it since 1926. Why you gotta do that to me? Anyway, so this is kind of the home place. Now, my dad bought the farm at Waldron in 1980, and that's where I grew up and have always known as the home farm. But we still farm down here. We've got not quite 600 acres total here around my grandparents' house. And so we're 35 miles almost straight east of the home farm at Waldron. I know I say down. It's not really south. It is in Ohio, and we're in Michigan, but we're right on the state line. The state line is about a mile north of us here. I doubt it's even that far north of us, half a mile north of us. And yeah, so we're straight east basically. And this year we had corn and wheat on these farms, and then after we took the wheat out, we planted these double crop beans. So we've got about 280 acres, 275 of double crop beans, and we're gonna see what they yield. And so yeah, it's a beautiful day. The beans are dry, it says. Average is 11.9. That's perfect. They're threshing really easy. We're going really fast. Sample's not great, but we'll keep tweaking it. It'll get a little bit better. And so far, we're 8 acres into this and have an average yield of 29.66. That's pretty darn good. Some other time, maybe later in this video, maybe tomorrow, we'll talk about the crop insurance side of it that some of you are aware of and some of you aren't. But yeah, 30 bushel double crop beans is fantastic for us, and we're going to take that. But we got to try and knock out as many acres as we can here today. The goal is to do them all today and tomorrow, so I need to get close to 150 acres done today. We got to move. We're going to let Brock see if he knows what he's doing. We'll ride around a couple times, then maybe let him go while I go get some lunch. Some of these in here are a little thin. Stand isn't great. And that shows up in this big yellow spot here. Some of it, go back over there, was really good. I don't know, we'll see. We're averaging 32, it says. But again, we don't trust the combine monitor in double crop beans because it's so much different than the first crop beans that it's not really calibrated for this. All these are going to get hauled to town though, and we've got a grain cart that we'll be able to verify with. So we will see what they do. You good?
I think so.
Don't run into the trees.
Yeah.
Don't hit the grain cart with the head.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
As easy as that.
Pretty much. Okay, I'm gonna go get some lunch. You can do a little camera in with somebody else driving the combine. Oh, that's not gonna be fun, is it? Run, run, run. See all the chaff coming out the back here. We are getting a lot of wheat straw in the combine. Ugh. That's what's coming out the back. So we're trimming the wheat stubble off lower than we did when we harvested the wheat. So these beans are 10-inch spacing. They were done with our air seeder, same as the wheat. All right, he's all grown up. Out of the dust. I'm gonna go grab some lunch quick, let him combine. The double crop beans are hard to screw up. It's a good spot to learn, practice. He's a good operator. He'll figure it out. You can call me if he has any trouble. Well, he's still moving. I don't see any damage to the grain cart or the head. Must not hit any trees. Good work, Brock. Heck, we're almost done with this field. All right, his fun is over. Did you Todd?
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Back to the grain cart. Well, we're a couple more rounds and we'll be done with this field. Be interesting to see once we get into the other one. A couple of things were different about this field than all of the other double crop bean fields down here. Number one, they were the last ones that we planted. And I don't remember exactly what the difference in time frame was. I don't know if it was a full week later than when we started or not, but a few days may have made a lot of difference the end of June, right? And then the other thing is the reason that these were the last plant is because this was the field that got baled. So we had a neighbor that baled the straw off of here, and so it was windrowed and we had to wait for them to get done before we could plant the double crop beans. The other fields, we spread it directly behind the combine and started planting it right into that stubble, and so we'll see if the excess residue affects the beans one way or another. But yeah, we're flying through these. We've been here for a little over 2 hours and we're 44 acres into it and about done with this field, and then we'll jump to the north here where we've got another 60-acre piece, and we'll learn some things. There is a little bit of variation in this field, as you can see on the map there, but the average has stayed fairly consistent. We're going to average 31 by the time we're done here, according to the monitor. Subject to verification, of course. But that's dang good beans. We will take it.
Or
Dang good double crop beans. It's not good beans. It's good double crop beans. Oh yeah, I also forgot these double crop beans in this field were the last ones planted, so they were mostly untreated beans. We did treat a lot of my double crop beans this year because last year that made a big difference for us, and so I went ahead and did that on most of them, but not all of them. So we'll see if that makes a difference. I don't remember where exactly the split between the treated and untreated seed is, though. Well, this field's a little more variable than the last field, though it doesn't really show up on the yield map, but averaging 30.5, which is about the same, maybe not quite as good as the other field, but they'll still keep getting a little better as we go here. Just too thin. I think the added residue, you can see a streak right there, and another streak, and another streak. It's residue from the wheat and from not being baled and being spread, that the beans didn't come up through it very good, or we didn't get them planted through that residue into the dirt, and they sat there in dry straw and didn't grow very good. I think that's probably what's holding us back here. But where there's a good stand, they're a little bit better yielding, and then yeah, it seems to vary some. So it's what it is. They're still good beans. 30 bushel double crops is a win for us. We're going to take that. Okay, we're running double crop beans here. Let's talk about double crop beans. I've got a rider. He's going to learn something too. Okay, so I've talked about this before, probably when we planted them, but you all didn't watch that video, so let's talk about it again. Right? So we harvested a wheat crop off of this field, all these fields that we got double crop beans in. That's what double crop means. It means we harvested a first crop of wheat back in usually July. In this case, it was actually in June when we were down here combining them. And then we planted beans immediately following that harvest. So essentially we're getting 2 crops in 1 calendar year. It's efficiency is what that is. And so it's an opportunity to kind of capitalize and make a little extra money, if you will. But we've already raised 1 crop here with the wheat. We've already kind of made the money to pay for the ground and this, to make a little bit of profit on it for the year. This is just kind of a bonus. So what does that look like? Well, we have to figure out what our variable costs are, right? What additional cost did we incur by planting these beans that we would not have incurred had we just left it as wheat stubble or planted a cover crop or whatever else may be? And if you're going to say we would have planted a cover crop if we didn't double crop the beans, you kind of got to take that seeding cost against or off of what it cost us to plant these double crop beans, right? So the first thing that we have is seed, right? That's the easy one. We had to buy the soybeans to plant these double crop beans. And we did, in fact, buy these beans. We did. I don't know if everybody does. We did. Now, the seed companies sometimes do have a little bit of a discount on double crop beans because it's the end of the year. They're going to have to sell them for grain price if they don't sell them, or pay to dispose of them if they're treated, because they don't keep from one year to the next. So they generally cut you a little bit of a break to get them planted and sold rather than carried over or have to pay or get a much lower price at the elevator. So I don't remember exactly what the bean price was. The other factor there is that we plant these super thick, right? Where our first crop beans we may plant at 150,000 or sometimes lower, sometimes a little more. These double crop beans we planted at 200,000, 220,000 seeds per acre. So the cost is higher because of that. So even if you just figured, well, it'll be 210 would be 1.5 units, right? And 140,000 seed counts, so 140 plus 7 would be 210,000. So let's just figure that. Now some of these beans were treated. The treated units cost a little bit more than untreated units do, but figure, I'm just going to throw a number out there because I don't remember exactly what it was, but say they were around $50 a unit treated. So if we planted 1.5 units, that means we had $75 an acre into the seed cost. That's quite a bit. But that has a lot to do with the high seeding rates. And they weren't all treated, so average is going to be a little bit lower than that, but we'll go with the 75 because it's a nice, easy, round number for us to use. So that's that. Okay, well, we also had to plant them, and running our planter, our air seeder, and our tractor, and our operator, and our fuel is not free. I don't know why he expects a paycheck, but he does. So, now we could go through and try and figure up actual cost, actual fuel used, time spent, wear and tear. That's a hard way to do things, and probably not a fair way to do it anyway. So the easiest way to come up with a number is to use the custom farming rates. Every state ag college kind of puts out a survey every year to figure out what custom farming rates are. So I looked up Ohio State's for 2024, and the average for drilled soybeans is around $20 an acre. It's like 20.33, but there was quite a range in there. We'll use $20 an acre because, again, it's a round, even number, right? So figure it costs us $20 an acre to plant these soybeans. So between planting and seed, we're up to $95 an acre, okay? What else do we have as a variable cost? Well, sitting in it, right? If I didn't have double crop beans, I wouldn't be combining them. So we have to figure out what this operation here is costing us. And again, I went to those custom farming rates and tried to look that up to see what's standard fair charge for combining double crop bean or combining beans. Now they didn't have double crop option. I would make the argument that double crops are a little cheaper to run through a combine than regular beans because, one, there's a lot less beans, there's gonna be less wear, I can go faster. I don't know. The range, I forget what the range was, like 25 to 40. Average was 32 or 33 just for normal beans. I'm going to use $30 an acre because it's an even round number again. So 95 plus 30 puts us at 125. $125 an acre. What else do we got for variable costs? Trucks are included in the harvest pass. So is a grain cart, so that's all included. There's not really anything. Now, we did spray these beans. We sprayed the herbicide on these beans. But I was going to spray this wheat stubble anyway. In fact, Dad's been doing that, or he did that a month ago on the wheat stubble that we didn't double crop beans on. So that's not a variable cost. That's a sunk cost that was going to happen one way or another. So that's not a factor. The only other one that I have come up with is the crop insurance that we were forced to buy on these double crop beans here at Berkey. We did not buy it on the ones back at Waldron, but in Berkey here, long story, but we had to buy it. So, there's that cost. Now, I don't remember what double crop soybean insurance cost us, but it was pretty cheap. It should be cheap because there's not a lot of dollars being guaranteed. We're going to say it was $15 an acre. I would guess it was probably less than that, but I don't know if it was as cheap as $10 an acre. So we'll say it was 15, so 15 plus our 125, now we're up to $140 an acre to plant double crop beans and buy the crop insurance and harvest them. That's it. That's what it costs us. All right? Brock, get your phone out. Get your calculator. So, We're at $140. I know right now that the cash price for beans, and these are just a cash sale. We did not forward contract them. We don't have them pre-sold. We're not putting them in a bin. We're taking them to the elevator, and we're saying, here you go, give us our money. Cash price today where Phil is taking these is not good. $9.17 a bushel. So take 140 divided by 9.17, Brock.
15.26.
15.26. That means we need 15 bushel the acre to pay for our expenses, to cover our expenses. That's more than I would like to see. But that's what it is, right? So, we're getting 30. That's doubling our money, I think.
Rock. Well, you're good.
Where?
Right here. You're welcome.
They get in the center sometimes. They're really hard to see. Anyway, so we're basically doubling our money on 30 bushel double crop beans. And if it costs us $140 for that, then we're essentially making $140 an acre. Now, you may also be saying, what about land cost? And, well, land cost was paid for by the wheat, so we don't have any wheat cost. So that's not a factor. Now, you could make the argument that we're taking a little bit of extra fertility out of these beans, and that is probably true. Thanks, Brock. We probably are pulling a little bit of extra fertilizer off of them, but I can also tell you we aren't going to add any extra because of this double crop beans. We're going to fertilize this ground anyway, but we're going to do it based on the soil tests that were taken as soon as the wheat was harvested, and it doesn't really... Why are we off now? It doesn't really change anything that we put double crop beans in. So I'm not going to really consider that an added variable cost. So yeah, we're doubling our money on these beans, and that's a good thing for us. Makes it worth doing, especially on as many acres as we're doing, right? Let's see. All right, Brock, take another number. So 140, that's our profit per acre, 140 times 275. $38,500. Yeah, I would take a $38,000 bonus at the end of the year, right? That's a pretty good deal for us. And that's paying custom rates for planting and harvest and factoring our seeding cost in there. And that doesn't factor in any crop insurance and whether or not we actually get anything from that crop insurance. It's a little iffy right now. We'll have to run the numbers when we're done. Basically, on these beans, our crop insurance guarantee is, I think, 36 bushel to the acre, but we get 80% of that because that's the coverage level that we bought. So 80% of 36 is like 27, something like that, which is lower than what we're getting. So theoretically, we're not going to get anything from crop insurance, but there's another component to that. That's the price side of it. And the spring price guarantee, I looked it up, was $11.55 a bushel. We're at $9.17 today. Now, it's Board of Trade price, not local price. I don't know how they account for that exactly. And the fall price hasn't been set because it's a daily average of all the days in October. So we got a few more days to put in there. But even if it was $9.50, that's $1.50 or $2 less than the spring price. And basically you take that 80% of our guarantee, which would be, say, the $11.55 spring price times the 36. What's that? 11.
It's 28.8. Actually, is your 80% of 36.
Okay, we'll do 36 times 11.55. So essentially, they were guaranteeing us $415 an acre. That's what that number is. Okay, now clear that out. Take 30 times 950 is 285. So there might be quite a crop insurance pay. They might pay the difference between that 415 and the 285. We may get $130 an acre payment from the crop insurance because these beans didn't do as well as what our history has been and the price dropped. That makes the insurance worth it too, doesn't it? So we'll see. But it may have been very worth planting these beans. And y'all can hate on me about taking crop insurance guarantee after I just told you we were making money, but we don't write the rules. I didn't want to buy crop insurance. They forced my hand. I had to buy crop insurance on these beans because of the county that we are in, and those are the rules. I didn't write them. I'm playing by them, and if they're going to force me to buy it, we're going to take it, and we're going to take the money if we qualify for a payout. We did some math wrong earlier, guys. And that crop insurance guarantee thing. All right, we'll go back to your 1165 times 36. We get 80% of that number, not that whole number. I knew something seemed off. That's too good to be true. So take that number times 0.8. What's that?
335.
335. So that's our guarantee of basically if we have less income than that per acre, they'll make up the difference. So what did I say we were? 30 times the 9. 333. 30 times 917, or 950. Say 950, because our cash price doesn't matter. It's the Board of Trade price. It's 285. No, 925. Yeah, 285. So that's only like $30 an acre. That makes more sense. So we might still get a little bit of a crop insurance payout, but it won't be that much. $30 an acre. We'll take it, right? We'll take the money because they made me buy the crop insurance. So basically, I'm going to get my premium back, plus a little bit. Doubling our money on the crop insurance premium too, I guess. No, yeah, 130 sounded too good to be true. I forgot the 80% factor, so that 415 was kind of the 100% guarantee, but we only get 80% coverage. So still, it's worth it, I guess. I would not have bought crop insurance on double crop beans had I not been forced to. You see those tracks? So the field across the road is ours too, and we started combining wheat in this one, or we didn't start here, but we combined this field first, and we got these beans planted before we did that field, and then we brought the grain cart and the combine back, and we drove across the field that was already planted to double crop beans to get to our trucks back where they are now. You can see the tracks in the beans. They're double crop beans, so it's not the end of the world, but that's what happens when you drive on a growing crop, or a planted crop in this case. Well, it is 6:30. We are 5 hours into the double crop bean combining day, and we're we're right at 100 acres. We're averaging 20 acres an hour. We're doing pretty good here. We've got 45 done in this field. They're dropping off a little bit. We're at 29.3, which is still not bad, but it's not the 32 that we had on the other side. So my conclusion at this point is that getting rid of the residue, baling the residue off, has actually helped our double crop beans. And really what it did was let us establish the stand a little bit better. These just had too many thin spots in them. But yeah, still decent. It's not bad. So, we're losing our sun. It's going to get dark here real fast, but we're going to keep going. We're going to try and finish this field. There's only about 15 acres left. And then we've got about 15 acres across the road. I don't know if we can do all that or not. We're looking at an hour and a half, be 8 o'clock, but that would be a pretty darn good day. It'd be 130 acres in at that point of the 280. That's close enough to half that we can finish them tomorrow. Well, we made it. We got this field done. 29.95. That's pretty close to 30. We'll take it. And now we get to jump across the busy road here and do this little 15 acres, 13 acres, whatever it is. A little after 7. Yeah, we're right on track here. There's somebody going down the road with something. I don't know what it is. Now, there's a fire hydrant. Oh, it's a manure tanker. There's a fire hydrant and a street sign. Some stuff over here, so we gotta do this very carefully. Not filming it. Alright, well, we made it. I rather stupidly did not empty the grain tank before we jumped across the road, even though my cart was sitting right there. That was dumb. So now, well, there ain't much for beans here, is there? Are there any beans here? A little bit, not much. So now my records are screwed up between the two fields, but that's alright. We can post-calibrate and just add the two fields together and do it that way. It'll be fine. Plus, we're hauling all these right to town, so we pretty well know we're going to have good records anyway. And they're double crop beans. It's not that big a deal. Other than for the insurance, we got to have an accurate bushels count. But we will have that because we're hauling them all in. Oh, well, we're moving along here, but our slip clutch went off. Oh, it's going to yell at me because I forgot to turn the separator off. Sorry. Anyway, I thought maybe it was just a slug of material or something, but it's not exactly that. It's this. Yeah. That's not supposed to be out here in the middle of our field. Yes, I know. You can stop beeping. We'll go ahead and just throw this up here so that it's not still in the middle of our field. Okay, we get it. Anyway, these beans aren't great. They're 20, which is okay. About guarantee our crop insurance payment, right? No, that's not how it works. It's not by field, it's by the farm average. So even if these beans are bad, if their other ones are a little better or something, it doesn't mean anything until we get done. There we go. But we're about done here. There's our map. The two passes along the edge there were terrible. Like this red, anything red is under 10 bushel, and this was 0. So that's what kills an average. Out in the field, they haven't been horrible, but they're not very good. Anyway, we'll get them done. All right, well, we got that field done. It went about 19 and a half. That's not great. But we jumped back across the road. We're going through the field that we already did, and then we've got you can see the trucks up there. There's a bridge across that ditch that we cleaned out, and then the field across the road there, the one around, the one we've been farming for almost 100 years, that field. So we're going to jump over there and open it up. We at least need enough to fill a truck, and I don't think we have enough just yet to do that. But the more we get done tonight, the less we have to do tomorrow. So we'll kind of keep going here if we can. All right, well, we're getting opened up here. So this is the first field where we've gotten into a different variety, and these looked a little better. I don't know, we'll see. Here. So there's the variety split. So the brown is a different variety than what all the rest of them have been. 45 here. These might be good. That'd be awesome. Well, these are definitely better than the last ones. It says they're up to 35. There's really good spots and then some that drop off. I don't know. We'll see when we get the field filled in a little bit. They're super dry. We're under 10% moisture. I almost wonder if it's worth shutting it down and letting them pick some moisture up overnight, going again tomorrow morning. But we'll see. I think we're just going to get a truck full and then call it a night anyway. 8:30 anyway. At this point, we're halfway through these beans, through what we got to do. We can do it tomorrow, no problem. Well, that should give him enough to fill the truck. 36, it says. We're 11 acres into this field. Oh, we had a big day. We got a lot done. I'll do some math, total up stuff for you here in a little bit. Phil's hauled 3 loads into the elevator. They've all been dry, like 10.5 to 11% moisture, and 60.2 pound test weight, which is, I mean, standard for beans is 60, but I don't know that I've ever seen 60 pound beans before. It's pretty much accepted that beans are going to be 56 to 58 pound test weight. It's just normal. So it's good. It doesn't mean a whole lot other than they're dense, probably because of the small seed size. But anyway, yeah, test weight's really good on them, and the FM's been 0.3 to 0.5. So they look potty in the tank. They're not actually potty. They're not actually bad. They're not getting docked for them, so no big deal. Anyway, we're going to park the combine here and head for home. Got a 45-minute drive home, so. 138. We did 138 acres of the double crop beans today, which is about exactly half because we've got 280 total. So, yeah, that's a good day, successful day. we'll come back and finish them tomorrow. We should be able to get started earlier tomorrow too, because keep in mind we didn't get started here till 1:30. It's about 8:45 now, so yeah. Oh, I should shut the top. I forgot. Okay, now we can shut it off. That's better. Alright, now what was I saying? Oh yeah. We didn't get started till late today. Should be able to finish it tomorrow. Got her locked up. If we can get started by, I don't know, it should be easily by 11, maybe even 10:30 tomorrow we can get started combining, so we'll see. But we should finish easily and maybe even starting on some corn tomorrow. That would be even better. Alright, well, we got to pick up over here. Phil and I will head back tomorrow. We got another truck to bring down in the morning. And Dad brought a fuel trailer down tonight, so that's good because we got to get fuel over here to the combine. We'll see what else we need to do. What else we need to get here tomorrow. No Brock tomorrow, but that's okay. We don't really need them for these double crop beans, so no big deal. Thanks for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, we'll leave them down below. And we'll try and do a live stream tomorrow too, doing double crop beans on the last field over there. It's usually a decent spot for it. So thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.